Same idea. I
Is
just
that what daft is? Ignorant?
ish.
Ish.
Yeah,
It's a nicer way of saying you're ignorant.
my questions go basically to like what shows we're watching and why we watch them. Usually, like I like anime. I'm not gonna lie, I watch anime pretty frequently, and I find myself liking the ones where it's more hero based because that's something that I know I have a hero complex and I want to be a hero to somebody. That's why I joined the army. That's why I'm doing my job now because at some point I want to be
A leader.
a hero, not a leader. I want to be a hero to somebody.
Interesting.
And I always want to have that feeling, but at the same time, I know I'm never going to get the feeling like you would in an actual show. Like they're a hero to save the world or to save people. Mine is like, I want to do the same thing, but I have one, no powers. Two, I'm in a world where there can be really no heroes other than firefighters, cops, soldiers.
Is it that you want to be a hero or do you want to be inspiring?
I think both.
A little bit of both.
I know it's. I think to be inspiring is part of that hero's complex. I don't. You've heard of that, right?
It's a characteristic of being a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I've always wanted to be one, and even like watching Dragon Ball Z, growing up watching that, it took me away from childhood trauma. You know, being in a situation where I was in a drug raid as a kid and shots were going through the house.
Oh, shit.
And that was when I was with my donor. And those shows kind of took me away from that, getting hit with a 2x4 with holes drilled through it. That it took me away from my reality more than anything.
Yeah.
And I still watch them because I still feel like I need to get away from my reality sometimes.
Sure.
And like my question is, do you guys have shows like that you watch because for reasons similar to that, or maybe you're just watching it out of entertainment or comedic purposes?
Interesting question. I would have said yes right off the bat, but I can't say that anymore. TV was, so I'm what would be considered a latchkey child. In other words, 90% of my time spent at home or at another family member's home was in front of the TV.
Yeah, you had the TV babysitter.
Exactly. And I was, I don't remember 90% of what I watch. I've watched stuff twice and gone, oh, I've watched this before, and not realize until I'm like 15, 30 minutes, sometimes even longer into the show going, oh yeah, I do remember this now. Especially now that they're streaming. With streaming, it takes me out. But yes, I will watch TV to basically escape. More when I was working, more when I was involved in, my profession than today. Today, I don't really have a whole lot of trauma to escape, although I have been having repetitive thoughts about some trauma that I experienced growing up. And it's funny, it's like, I don't know why, but it's like I'm going, wow, that's really interesting. I'm thinking about a trauma from when I was 17 years old. And it's like I haven't thought about it. Now that I have more time on my hands, I have a tendency to visit the traumas that I have in my life.
And I think that's what it usually is. That's why I try to fill up my time a lot with like those random TV shows, doing projects, basically trying to get out of my own head. Lane?
I don't know. Like I'm really guilty of having something on all the time. Sometimes multiple somethings on. But I'm usually working on something at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of yours is background noise. I know that.
Yeah. It's
But, like-
almost always background
Like when you
noise.
sit down and actually watch something.
It's so rare that I sit down to watch something.
Purely for entertainment.
Well, yeah, and that's the only thing I'm focusing on.
Right. See, when I was your age, I was very much focused on, getting as much information as I could into my orbit to be able, but it was primarily focused on finances or mortgage banking and things of that nature. Like I watched a lot of CNBC back then. And I'm only talking 20 years ago, right? I'm not talking,
Yeah.
it's not like 40 years ago.
Back when it was black and white TVs.
But I was checking out in a different way 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, now it's a lot more for entertainment. It's a lot more, not amusement, but more for, you know, okay, I can learn a little bit about this or a little bit about that, but it's not like it's going to impact me heavily. That's why I kind of get a kick out of when Lane and Casey are talking about, oh, this is trash, this isn't any good. And it's like, I'll be sitting at home and I'll be watching something. I go, yeah, neither of these guys would watch this. Neither of these guys would sit here and watch it like I do.
Lane and his Marvel stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not even watching Marvel. I'm watching some other stuff on Netflix, you know,
Yeah.
and that I know most, not just Lane and Casey, most people wouldn't watch. And it's just because I'm checking out.
See, I watch a lot of different things, and like I've watched C-rate, B-rate movies.
Right.
And it's one of those things I enjoy when I have time to sit down and watch TV and watch movies because I don't know. Like I said, it's an escape for me. And like when Lane brought up Disney, and then we got into Marvel, and I'm just like, I like that. That's why my question came up. That hero thing.
Yeah, I don't. All right, so here's the thing, right? Like, there's heroes in the real world, and then there's heroes on TV, and the heroes in the real world almost always have some massive risk of loss.
Yes.
Medal of Honor winners, for a long time, receive them posthumously for the most part.
That's because most of
Yes.
them died before that. And
Yeah,
still
because
most of
they
them do.
risked everything, as Lincoln called it, the last full measure of devotion, to accomplish something for someone else.
Yeah, it was all gave some gave all.
I was
Right.
just trying to remember what that comment was.
But heroes in the real world risk. And in Marvel, there's no risk. In superhero movies, there's no risk. Like, this is why I appreciate Batman.
I was
'Cause
about to
there's
say
loss.
Batman.
What's
I
that?
was about to say Batman.
Batman.
Robert Downey
Because
Jr.
it's a real
similar.
story. I mean, yes, it's grandiose and ridiculous. However, for dramatic purposes, there's real risk and there's real loss,
Yes.
right? Like, it's an honest to God dramatic theme. When you get like any of the latest Marvel movies, they're all basically invincible unless they introduce a plot device that can kill them. It's awful. It's just terrible. Like, you need fucking Deus Ex to introduce loss. First of all, you can't write. Second of all, you picked a bad story.
Fair. What about Spider-Man? I mean, sure, he has powers, but he loses a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, his loss, when you're talking about most of the Spider-Man movies, you're talking about a young kid, right? Like, his loss is more social and cultural than physical harm, generally speaking. But it's still
I mean, Uncle Ben died.
loss.
Yeah.
Like, and loss doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to die.
Right.
But you have to introduce some loss. And they just don't do that.
Like losing your friends and all that. And
Yeah, like,
the friends
there,
leaving.
there has to be some cost to what you're achieving. If there's no cost, there's no value.
Okay. Because in not the most recent, but the one where it had all three Spider-Mans.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Far From Home?
Yeah, so when to get the timeline back together, he makes everybody forget he's Spider-Man, so he loses his friends. They don't remember who he is, but they're all around each other still, and he's trying to figure out how to talk to them again.
Yeah, I guess I should rephrase. The loss has to outweigh the reward or the
Right.
outcome. Like, it has to be real
Real
in
loss.
some way to the character.
Got it, for you to actually...
And then they have to express it on screen so that that connects with the audience.
Okay. I can see that.
What?
That's just too much.
But this is
No,
what-
I get it. I mean, I get what I totally understand the sentiment and what you're saying. And it's like, and it's, I don't even know how to, I mean, I'm not there with that,
Yeah, that's fine.
you know?
But I don't use TV as an escape.
True.
He uses it as background noise.
Well, when I'm watching it, I want some sort of complexity. I want enough complexity that I guess it is some sort of escapism that I can suspend disbelief for a while. It actually has to pull me in. If it can't pull me in, I don't care. I'm going to go do something else while it's on.
Right. You're not, what's interesting is you use the
Decks.
word complexity.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get why you watch it. The complexity is what entertains you.
Yeah.
For me, complexity just confuses the fuck out of me sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh Jesus, what? I don't need to know all that.
See, I like movies like that where I have to go back sometimes and rewatch it to try and figure out different things that's going on. And I'll watch the movie probably 2 or 3 times just to figure it out usually. But by the first one where the parts confuse me, I'll go back and figure it out. But usually I get most of it from the first movie.
Now, I have a question. If you're watching something that's terrible, will you continue to watch it just to see how bad it gets?
Nope.
It's kind of like a cigar for him. Like if the cigar starts running and it's terrible, crack
Crack in half, throw it in the ashtray. Get rid of it.
It's just one finger movement. It's crack and then just throws it in there.
Rip off the Band-Aid, move on, man. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. For me, I enjoy
I can't even... I listen to Supreme Court oral arguments, right?
Right. Oh, boy.
And there are certain cases where in the first 3 minutes, you
Right.
know how it's going to go. Because you know who the judges that the decision hinges on are. And you can tell by their questions. There have been a couple this year. I don't know how the attorneys got in front of the Supreme Court. They were terrible.
Yeah.
And I couldn't listen to it. Because the judges were embarrassing them and they didn't know it.
Oh, my gosh.
Like everyone in the room
So you just
knew
won't-
that the lawyer was massively incompetent, but the lawyer. And I couldn't listen to it.
Interesting. Is that because they get married so much to the content or the issue that they're trying to foist upon
I don't. I think
the
for
members
some
in the court?
I think some of them are emotionally connected. I think some of them just aren't good attorneys.
Okay.
I think some of them just don't know how to make a coherent argument. And also, arguing in front of the Supreme Court is different than arguing a trial.
I feel like
Oh,
you would
okay.
you find more entertainment value out of that just because they're embarrassing
No,
themselves.
I
and don't
can't. I
realize
can't
it.
do it. Once I know how it's going, I'm done.
Okay.
He's not mean about it. You know, Lane is like, oh, stop the suffering. We're moving along. We're not going to be, we're not going to continue to watch this for our, guilty pleasures,
Yeah.
so to speak.
It's not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It usually isn't. I mean, usually you're just like, this is what you're doing. This is what it looks like. This is what you're trying to get. This is what you're going to get. And you might as well just stop right there.
But I don't like the Ramini case, right? Which was the domestic abuser who, because there was no domestic violence in 1870 whatever, or 1770 whatever, 1772.
17, yeah.
He's arguing in front of the Supreme Court that you can't take away this guy's guns because what he's guilty of didn't exist in 1772. But there's a long history of people having their gun rights restricted when they were felons, when they did certain dangerous activities, when there was a likelihood that they were going to do a dangerous activity, like enough evidence that it was coming.
So let me ask, wasn't there a due process situation?
They didn't make a due process argument.
Oh.
They didn't even bring it up. And the conservative justices are like, why aren't you making a due process argument?
Yeah.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, get off your ass.
Right.
And he didn't ever do it. And he's making this super strict originalist argument, Texas is informed by history and tradition. That's bad enough. Like, he's going to lose. And I don't think they're going to change the test. They're just going to carve out some narrow exception and liken it to this thing that happened in 1771, so it still fits the test. That's what they're going to do. However, that doesn't matter because the next day, this is really my point. The next day, all these liberal papers come out and they're like, Supreme Court ready to step away from last year's Bruin decision and knock down gun rights. Well, that's not going to happen either. I can't stand either. Both of them are completely grandiose and intellectually dishonest, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's address the complexities of what's happening and not make these super broad strokes of celebration and have a real discussion. This is my biggest problem with all of politics, for that matter. Like, broad strokes of celebration are the biggest destructive force in politics, period.
It's funny you say that because they're not funny, but it's interesting that you say that because I'm watching more Second Amendment podcasts and people, and it's like there's the armed scholar. He talks so fast that I can't really keep up, but I know he's got content that's of substance and weight. Where there's this other guy, Mark Smith, that he looks like he's got a rag on top of his head. You know.
Oh, is he the Four Boxes Diner guy?
Yes, that
Yep.
guy. It's like
I can't listen to him.
you know, at first I started to and was able to, and it's like now it's like, oh my God, I can't.
Well, because I want to know the posture of the case. I want to know the arguments that are really up. And then they do that for about 45 seconds. And then they start going into what it means and how you should take it. And, you know, they start being pundits.
Right.
And I just have no use for their punditry. I don't think they're any good at it, first of all. Like, if you say, based on the writings of these judges, this is how it's going to come out. They're going to lose in this court. It's going to go to this court. Based on previous history, they're not going to sign on to a restraining order, right? So it's going to have to go all the way through on the merits. These are the justices that are going to be for it. These are the justices that are going to be against it. These are the justices that are going to be middle, and here's why, right? Perfectly good commentary. But when they're like, you need to value this because this is how it's going to take, and they're going to disarm you and take all of your gun. Like, stop talking. I don't care. First of all, you're wrong. Practically, it'll never happen. And second of all, what you think doesn't matter. Like, talk to me the things that you're an expert on, not the things that you think you're an expert on.
Give me the brass tacks.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I liked Armed Scholar.
Yeah, for the most part, he's brass tacks. He sometimes, for my purpose, he goes a little too far into what preceded where they're at.
Right.
A lot of it seems unnecessary. And then he does do some punditry at the end, usually, which he started to do reaction videos to people interviewing people about Second Amendment guns, like arms.
Oh, really?
And some of his points are just useless.
I haven't seen that part.
They're just not valuable.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I like him. And again,
I like it when he talks about cases.
right. Or
But when he's
process.
got like so-and-so interviewing Ben Shapiro about Second Amendment rights, and he's like, well, first of all, Ben's wrong about, and you're like, well, that's kind of a gray area there. But I don't have any use for when he does that stuff.
Oh,
because I don't think it's meaningful.
Are you talking about the one where Ben Shapiro goes to Oxford or Cambridge?
I don't know. I watched 45 seconds of it, and I couldn't do it. Because I turned it, like, his headlines are always so far off.
Really?
Yeah. Because what he's talking about and what he puts as his little banner headline, like, I click on it because I want him to talk about this thing, and it ends up not being about a case at all. Doesn't mean what he says it means. It's headline, and then I just turn it off.
And you're talking about Armed Scholar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't skip through that to see if he brings it up later, or
No.
you don't give it that chance.
No. Well, he's not going to.
Okay.
I know his video format at this point.
Okay.
If he's going to talk about the things I want to hear, he's going to do it right up front, which is
Fair.
nice because then I can just turn him off.
You know what? You know what's really interesting is that what I've noticed about, because I'll not just do 2A podcast. There's a car edge, I think is the name of the podcast. Doesn't really matter. It's this father and son thing, but I'll listen to them. And what I've also noticed is that in the other podcasts, when they're signing out, right, they're saying, you know, click the like button, ring the bell, subscribe,
Yeah.
and comment, right? And I'm like waiting. I'm waiting for someone to go, hey, I know you've sat through this for so long. Can you please comment on what you didn't like and what you did like and how we might be able to improve the podcast? You know, I'm just not getting that from all the podcasts. It's kind of like they're all canned.
Yeah.
You know, they're all in a box. And
Well,
they're not-
they've
and they're
gotten
not-
their viewer base. That's the thing.
Well, but still,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you shouldn't ask for constructive criticism.
Yeah, we've done that a couple of times.
They criticized us on that 923 review.
Oh yeah, how was that?
We're not doing well.
No.
923.
The Elijah Craig C923 at the whiskey. I will say I got a little bit of redemption. Fred Middick, who's like the whiskey guy,
Oh yeah.
tastes it. He's like, it's good. He goes, I don't know if it's going to make my top 100. It probably will, but it's not a shoo-in, right?
Yeah.
Like, finally. Like, all the flavors are there, but they just don't work that well together. Like, it's big. All the flavors are brilliant. They just don't complement each other the way I want them to. And all these guys are like, this is the best whiskey since whatever. I'm like, but the people, they're like, They're like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, sorry, it's just how I felt about it.
Like, were we gonna do another review on it? Is that
No,
why?
no, we're just gonna do the one. I'm done
I
with
was
it.
just asking because you were asking for another one.
Yeah, because I want to get one to James.
Got it. All right. Like I said, I have to wait until Kevin's there because his people were there, and
I
some of
think
them
when
don't
it
know.
shows up back in Nevada, it'll show up at one of the liquor stores that I go to.
oh yeah.
I think they'll have it,
Okay.
and they'll have it probably for SRP.
And
I mean, there's usually a lot of that stuff around, but it comes out in stages.
Okay.
Is that the Elijah Craig 923 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's just not.
Top 100.
I don't think it's as good as everyone thinks it is.
I think they're giving it a little bit too much credit. Kind of like you said, it's bold. It just doesn't stand out.
Well, it's
It
not
will-
for everybody, is it?
No, well, nothing's for everybody.
Right.
I would even say that the flavors stand out. They just don't stand out together.
They don't synchronize.
What was the? I don't even want to. What was the? There was an old line. It was a comic who was talking about Steve Buscemi's teeth, and he's like, every one of those fuckers is in business for themselves. He's talking like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I feel like is it the bald guy that says that?
but that's how I felt about Elijah Craig C923. Like they're big, bold, bright flavors, but they just don't complement each other. Something about them, they're slightly out of balance. It's just a little disjointed. Like it's good. It's it's worth $80 for sure.
They're just missing something to bring it all together.
Yeah, they just didn't tie it together very well, in my opinion.
Interesting.
And a lot of people disagree. A lot of people love it. More power to them.
So is it like having three distinctive different chocolates in your mouth at the same time?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. I'm just trying to figure it out. How do you have things that taste that don't complement each other? And I guess, bittersweet versus...
It'd be like sprinkling your strawberry jam with cinnamon. They're both big flavors. Don't necessarily need to be in the same place.
Yeah, on full grain bread or sprouted bread
Or sourdough.
or sourdough. Well,
Listen,
wait a minute. It might work on sourdough.
When you said that, I went back to Miracle Whip and bananas because that's a thing in the South, and I do eat it every once in a while. Still.
Miracle Whip and bananas.
Yeah, it's like mayonnaise and bananas.
No.
The Miracle Whip is a little bit sweeter, so it kind of complements the banana a little bit more. But when it's just the mayonnaise, it doesn't complement it as much, and it kind of clashes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't stand Miracle Whip to begin with.
Exactly. So I mean, it's not for everyone, but in the South, they love it.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know how to talk to you right now.
Disappointed, laid face.
I mean, my grandfather used to put salt on watermelon.
See, exactly.
Oh,
and
I get that. I get that.
It's actually, I don't do it, but I've tried it, and it's not as offensive as it initially sounded to me.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, you got to try it.
I did.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not terrible. It does make the sweet stand out a lot.
Yes.
I'm not sure that sweet standing out that much is worth the salt.
So,
See,
ba-dum-bum.
I picked
Where's the sound effect when you need it?
right. I picked up mayonnaise, a Miracle Whip, and I had some Miracle Whip spam sandwiches today.
Ooh.
I always love it.
Okay. I mean,
Always
I'm
go-to.
sure I eat some stuff that people would be like, what are you doing? I don't know what it would be. I'm sure it happens.
I'm sure there's something there, something that you really like.
So I don't know how I got there other than the salt. What about salt on avocados?
Yeah, I do pepper
Well, yeah,
on
I mean-
avocados.
Do you salt your avocado omelets?
I don't usually have A, omelets, B, avocado in my omelets.
Oh, well, that's just disappointing.
Yes.
See, I don't do that either. I just cut the avocado in half and then pull the seed out, salt and pepper, and I eat it
Oh,
with a spoon.
see, you know what? I did that when I was a kid. I can't do it anymore. So it turns out I'm slightly allergic to avocados. Now, I still eat avocado. I just don't eat it in mass.
Listen, my aunt is the same way with tomatoes, and she loves tomatoes. So she's always getting like scratching because she's always eating tomatoes at least 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, I still eat avocado. I usually eat it with something, like in omelets or something.
You know what, though? As I said, I don't usually eat omelets or avocados in my omelets. That's not true. There is a place in Los Gatos that made the best avocado sausage omelet with hollandaise sauce on top of it.
See, there you go.
It was just, I think we even threw some spinach in there. And it's like, oh, It was
See, I would probably skip the hollandaise sauce and put salsa on top.
okay.
But
I liked hollandaise sauce.
I do too. I'm just not. I think in that
Just not
situation,
on that.
like with avocado, I also want some sort of spice. Honestly, I think it just.
Well, I think that's what the sausage did. It gave it a little bit of flavor, spice.
That's fair.
Anyway,
But yeah, a good eggs Benedict,
sure.
all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the hollandaise sauce is rich,
Yeah,
correct?
very.
Yeah, it's very rich. Yeah, that's probably why I like
I don't
it.
think I've ever had hollandaise sauce.
Oh, you should go get an eggs Benedict somewhere.
But you got to get
I
it.
don't think I've ever had eggs Benedict. I
But you
usually
should
have
do it.
But you got to be careful
You get over easy
'Cause-
eggs and call it good.
because the hollandaise sauce, if it's not done right,
So most restaurants now don't make their own.
oh,
Most restaurants use this pasteurized canned product, which is actually really, really good. I forget what it's called. It's called Dale's, maybe. I forget what it's called.
Right.
But it's a very good product. It's one of the few canned products that I believe in. Also because so many places can screw up hollandaise sauce done from scratch.
Sure.
But it's pasteurized, it's shelf stable, and it doesn't go bad.
is it thick?
Yes.
Nick, how do you
Okay.
make hollandaise sauce usually?
It's an egg product, I think.
No,
It's
like mayonnaise.
I don't know, but they used to make it from scratch at the Las Gatas Cafe.
Yeah, I believe if you've got a place that you trust, it's really good.
Oh yeah. Well-
There's not a single place for breakfast up here I would trust to make their own hollandaise sauce.
Not even the Red Hut. Huh?
No,
Oh,
not even the Red Hut.
especially not.
Not even the Red Hut.
What about the Fox and Hound? Or they're not open for breakfast? They're
Oh no,
lunch.
they're open for breakfast.
They're open for breakfast. I like Eli. I don't trust Eli.
Oh, fair.
As far as his food,
Well, as far as something like that, I trust him to smoke his brisket.
right? Okay.
Oh yeah, that brisket was awesome.
Yeah. They do a good job with barbecue. Not sure I'm trusting him with.
That's the first time I had it is when I was with you. We
Yeah.
stopped up there after going snowboarding and just ate. It was so good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fox and Hound is good. Good grind. Good bar. Would you call that bar food? Lane? Oh, he checked out.
Oh, sorry.
I would think it's a mix between a bar food, yeah.
Bar food and barbecue.
Yeah. I would go more barbecue than bar food.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they have a bunch of other stuff besides just the barbecue.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
they've got nachos and
But they still like they smoke their brisket. They have this big ass grill outside where they cook a lot of their chicken and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of barbecue, and then you have like the nachos and stuff on the side that you can get.
chicken. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get the other stuff.
I'd lean more towards barbecue than bar food though.
Okay.
I'd say like 70% barbecue, 30% bar food.
Okay. Where'd you go, Lane?
I was returning a text message. Someone sent me a logo randomly.
Really?
Yeah, it's super sexy. Hold on, I'll text it you guys.
us?
For what?
For the shop.
For the shop.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Somebody we know, or
Someone I know.
I was about to say just a random number that popped up. like how
Here.
they get the information now.
She walked by. I worked with her at GSR, and she walked by here
Not too long ago.
a couple nights back.
Okay.
And then text me after. She's like, "What were you doing in the cigar shop?" I was like, "I own it." She's like, "Wait, no, you don't." I'm like, "No, I do." Yeah.
I told you this. I own a shop. Hopefully soon to be too if we find the right place.
Right?
I am still looking. I haven't found a place.
In Minden.
Yeah, I was looking like kind of on the main street of Gardnerville where like JT's is and all that.
Okay.
Like some of those old buildings because I think there's a couple that might go under soon. I'm not 100% sure. Mm-hmm. But I'm like looking at them, and I've never been inside, and I feel like I should probably step in a couple of these places and take a look at them to see what they actually look like.
Lane and I were talking the other day about, getting one of the old houses. Are they Victorians?
Some
What-
of them are,
what-
yeah.
Yeah. What era are those?
Don, my friend that worked in surveillance with us,
Yeah.
he owned one, redid the inside because he used to like hang drywall and do all the fancy work.
Okay.
That thing was amazing.
Was it?
But he had to sell it when he got married.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Well, he got married and moved into her house instead of keeping his,
Oh.
which he regrets now.
Oh, no doubt.
But that house right now, it'd probably be worth $500,000,
No.
maybe more.
Probably more.
Yeah, probably more with how he did. But I don't know how the tenants now that own it
Wow.
redid it because it was behind. I want to say it was behind Sharky's over in that area.
Interesting.
It was a nice place.
So I'm thinking about the places that you're going down the main drag, and There's an insurance company in one.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm
there's-
thinking.
And there's a mortgage company in another.
Yeah, Lane asked me to keep an eye out, and I was looking
Yeah,
for
I'm
it.
looking for a house that's been turned into businesses that's going out
Right,
or is selling. Well, because I've got an investor for the property.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be you?
Probably.
Suave.
Probably.
Same hair.
Same here.
If you look at it, you'll know what I mean.
Anyway, no. Super. I said it to you. But no, so I want something where I can do private rooms, where
Right.
I've got a big lounge area. I've got a place where I can build a humidor, like an old kitchen space that's been converted where I can do a humidor,
And we could do like boxes.
where I've got water supply so I can do a fed humidifier,
Oh yeah.
right? And enough space for lockers.
A Fed humidor?
Yeah, where
like
water
so-
taps
an
in.
autofill humidor,
Oh, right.
humidifier.
Okay.
And then it also has functions like some of the newer ones have functions for your phone, so it could tell you like you need to change this, you need to do this, the temperature inside or in the humidity is this.
But private rooms so I can set up like sports viewing and then run cocktail waitresses and do bottle service and do a bunch of fun stuff. Like I want something where I have some options.
Right. Where it's.
That you
Well,
own.
there's one
as
thing
well.
that we,
Yeah.
we definitely know about you, Lane. You know how to throw a party.
Yeah.
You are an entrepreneur and someone who could put together a party pretty well, especially seeing how, I mean, you used to run nightclubs, so you should know how to do that by now.
Yeah, I know a little bit.
Interesting.
What do you think? Will you like that?
Yeah, I do. I
Wait,
mean-
hold on. We'll do it. Hold on. I bet I can put it on camera.
Oh, really?
She might hate me for this, but it's happening anyway.
One of us could.
I like it. She's got you what kind of
There. Oh, whoops.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Yeah, it keeps blurring out.
Would it be better if I
Nice.
did it?
There we go. You just got to cover up the eyes with the Sony.
Oh, wow. So she's giving you a skeleton type face. And wait a minute. We're assuming that it's you.
I just said it was him because I'm like, same hair. But like, if
but
you
she's-
look at it,
he's
the
got-
way his hair comes back in that top portion there, yeah.
I kind of you're not going to like this, but maybe you will.
That's always a good way to start.
I can't resist.
Well, let's hear it, man.
Ahmed the terrorist.
The dead
That
terrorist, yeah.
The dead terrorist. That face is so Ahmed the dead terrorist.
I don't know if I want to put him on the window though.
It's fair. I'm not sure I would put it on the window outside. I asked her if I could make stickers out of it.
I feel like a sticker, and if we ever did decide for that one, I feel like that middle window.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like a billboard, maybe? I don't know.
Or that would.
Or we could put it up behind the counter when I redo the back area.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
could get the metal print of it
Yeah.
and put it up behind the counter.
That would be
that'd be nice.
classic for that middle window. That would be so slick.
Yeah, but I don't want to get rid of the people watching.
Well, no.
True.
You do it kind of like the new logos that you have on the doors here. You do
That's
it,
fair.
You do it in a silhouette type.
I probably do.
I mean, this is if you just did this, everything that's in white.
black.
No, everything that's in white on the
Just do it in white and
just do it
see
in
through
white,
like that.
see through like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
I want to do it on a metal print
Oh,
Metal
okay.
print would be nice, yeah.
and put it up behind the counter.
So, for all of those who are listening and watching, hopefully you will see this soon.
Well, they already saw it.
I mean, we showed
Oh yeah,
them.
you
I
just
put it
showed
on camera.
They'll
Yeah.
probably get a better glimpse if they ever stop in and we
Yeah.
have the stickers and the print.
You gotta come up to the shop here in State Line, Nevada. You got to. If you're gonna be in Tahoe, you gotta stop by. Please.
I think if you get like the building down there, you do the metal prints outside on the sides of the door.
Oh, yeah, if I did it in Gardnerville, I'd use that logo in a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I would put it on the window in a casino.
Yeah,
Oh.
probably not.
Really?
I don't know that they would approve.
I mean, if
This
you,
is a really vanilla casino.
yeah,
Oh.
maybe
okay.
if it was.
But if I
hardware.
had a standalone building, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, they got a nightclub called Opal and another nightclub called Blue.
Blue is no longer open.
Vanilla.
Opal is extremely vanilla
Yeah, I guess it is.
It really is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
compared to others. Yeah,
Right. Compared to like.
even like Peak here is a little bit more
Edgier.
Edgier, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like there were acts we couldn't bring in, there were DJs we couldn't bring in
Oh, is
because
that
they were
right?
like, "Wow, I don't know." security would throw a tantrum.
And you're just like, don't you want more people here?
Is that
Did
because
you
of
guys want to have an actual party, or did you want to have a faux party?
or is that because they were the perceived clientele that might show up for that artist?
Oh, I know, dude. I fought.
Is that what it was?
I fought the better clientele thing for so long. They're like, we need better clientele. I'm like, no, you don't. You need to increase spend. Has nothing to do with your clientele. It's a casino.
Right.
Like, energy. You trade on energy. That's the deal. The more energy you put into the building, regardless of the clientele, the more people will spend. The more people with the money that you're looking for will show up if you're the most energetic property around. It's just that simple.
And it's known.
Yeah, you're trading on experience.
Well, the more energy you get, the more known you're going to get.
Well,
Yeah.
and we're not going to compete with Harris here. There's no way we can compete with Harris and Harvey's at this point. Well, they can't. We have no part in this, but they can't compete with Harris and Harvey's right now.
I'm competing with the Harrah's Cigar Lounge just fine.
Listen, I wouldn't count that as a cigar lounge because it's only open on 2 days out of the week. At
I know.
night.
I do love the view.
The view is amazing.
I mean, it really is.
I do like that.
But it's, it's on the 16th floor. It's impossible to get to. Most of their employees don't know it's there.
And most people don't know where it's
And
at.
their cigars are in terrible shape.
Well, yeah, because they're in.
They're in cabinets.
They're in
They don't
cabinets.
maintain.
They're not even in the humidor.
I mean, there's not even anyone in there 5 days a week. You're going to tell me they're maintaining those humidors?
No.
Negative.
I mean, if they're bringing somebody in to check it, probably 2 times a week.
I've had
maybe.
people come in here and I tell them, I'm like, beautiful room. You should go up there. Great bar. Like
Bring your own.
I'm like, take cigars from here. And they're like, you're just saying that. Because I'll tell them what I just told everybody, right? Not
Right.
great shape, cabinets, whatever. I'm like, we get a lot of people that come down here and get their cigars and then go up there and buy drinks. And they're like, sure. And then they go up there. And then the next day they come in here on Saturday and they buy cigars. I'm like, where are you guys going? Like, oh, we're going to the Cliche. Cool. Yeah. You were right about the cigars. I know.
That's the usual thing, though. I mean, you own a shop, you know how they should be. You've gone into that shop. I haven't been up. I stopped up there once. It was too jam packed, and I don't like people enough to sit around a bar not knowing any of them.
That's fair.
And like it's too close, packed in for me. This how we have ours is more my speed because I can sit down. We can actually have a talk, but at the same time, I'm not surrounded by a ton of people.
So are you less comfortable with me pulling those chairs closer to the other,
No,
narrowing it in?
I'm still fine with that. It's like when you're at a bar and you have a ton of people and there's no
yeah.
elbow room.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
my
okay.
problem.
Because this definitely does make it more communal in here.
Yeah, you get more conversations going. You don't have to like yell across. And
It's
anybody that
cozy.
wants to sit there and have a conversation on their own can sit at the tables there or
It's-
sit here at the booth.
As close as they are to those chairs on the floor, it still feels like a private conversation somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how that worked out, but it worked out really well.
I think because nobody's fake. It's
We don't really look
Because
at
it-
them.
I will say now that the tables are there for reference, you can't see how crooked we put that sound treatment up.
No, that is perfectly straight across. That is a straight line done with a laser level and everything.
yeah, straight line with a.
Because the floor's
with a
slanted.
slight
And the ceiling is slanted in a different direction.
Did
and
you
it's a
finally
slight
notice that?
degree. It's
Oh,
a
I've known
slight
that forever.
degree.
I've been looking at every time I hang up something and I look at it, I'm like, this is straight, but he's gonna say it's crooked because of that stupid ceiling up there. That ceiling every time.
No, the room is taller on one end than the other.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's,
it is.
it's short here, tall on that end. And you can see that they didn't like I don't think the ceiling's level at all. And the floor, that's never gonna be level.
No. Just the little things,
Yeah, it's noticeable, but at the same time it's
I mean, it is what it is.
is.
It's been a good shop for us.
It's been,
I want to
I
redo
mean,
the back.
The shop has been here for about 2 decades. now?
2008.
Oh, 2008? I thought it was earlier than that.
Nope, 2008.
2008.
2007 is when they started moving things in. 2008 is when they actually got everything in. And photos were like between December and February of 2009.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
So-
the first iteration of this shop, when he had humidors on the wall, it looks so paltry in here.
Oh, yeah?
It was just a box.
I remember those photos. It was a blank wall over there, nothing, no shelving, not really even space to.
Yeah.
Cashier
then,
at.
And then he swung entirely in the other direction.
Oh yeah, he overdid it. It
Oh,
looked
boy.
like if you used to see this shop, it used to look like a swap
That
meet.
you still can. There's photos that still come up of the old shop when you Google us.
Oh yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, because he won't delete that account.
He still has his Facebook too,
I know.
and it just says Blythe Arakawa, and it still has the Lake Tahoe cigar symbol on it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh
just
my
like, I don't
God.
know if you want to keep that up. Does he follow us?
I don't know.
I'm kind of curious if
I
he
doubt
like.
it. I doubt
I
it.
haven't seen him come by the shop in a long time.
The
After
the last time he came by the shop, I'm not going to say that on camera.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't.
I can tell you the last time he came by the shop.
It was that one day, right?
Yeah, when he was picking up those papers.
Yeah, after, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
That was when he came by, and that was
Yeah.
the last time we saw him.
Never seen him again.
How long ago was that?
That was 4 weeks after we opened.
Oh.
So 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wondering if he's actually been in the building.
No, yeah, I don't think he comes up here at all. He mainly does DoorDash down there where I'm at, and I've seen him at the
God.
Walmart once or twice.
I ran into him at Minden Meat.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I excused myself from that conversation as quickly as possible.
Like, did you even have a conversation?
Fortunately, he started to. Fortunately, Kevin was in the conversation too. He started talking to Kevin, and I very quickly did the, "Hey guys, I'll see you later," and I was gone before anyone could say anything.
Good job, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So does Lane.
I wanted no part of that conversation.
I'll bet. So he's still doing DoorDash.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, DoorDash. and
I'm
he's-
amazed he's still in the state.
He's still making a ton of phone calls too. He's always on the phone still.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder. Yeah. It's. I mean, gosh, he saw vacant space, so he had to fill it. Basically, what he did with this shop.
Yes.
It went from beautiful to.
Well, he knew he was
let's
getting
fill
run out of
it.
Harrah's.
But yeah, so basically everything from that shop over there and the shop down there got compressed into here.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
And then it just became a cluster.
Yeah. And like he wanted to do both sports and cigars instead of choosing one or the other. And
Well, he was right in trying to branch out from cigars. That's why I'm trying to get a liquor license.
well, yeah, a liquor
But the
license would help a
sports,
lot.
also, who buys memorabilia out of a cigar shop with stuff inundated with smoke? I have no idea.
I mean, I saw them; they weren't all.
All the other problems aside, don't know why you would do that.
I mean, it worked. It worked at Harrah's when it was just outside of the
nightclub
The nightclub.
and the showroom.
Right.
That was a good shop for them.
Yes.
That went downhill when Harris moved him around the corner and
Right.
up the hall.
Well, and that's. I don't know why. I mean, they. Why did they do that?
Because Harris didn't want him on the floor.
Got it.
Yeah, they
He was
just
doing
wanted-
too well on the floor.
Who knows? I think Harris was trying to run him out at that point. They were trying to get him to break the lease because they wanted to be internal.
and they wanted to do cliche up
They
top.
wanted to do cliche.
Yeah.
which is.
Yeah, and
Which is just a bastard job.
well, it is, and like, don't they supply the cigars to the golf, the celebrity golf,
No.
or they used
I
to?
can't believe they would still.
Well, now they're all staying at Edgewood, aren't they?
Most of them. Well, it depends. All the ones with families, all the ones who don't party stay at Edgewood. All the ones who party and gamble stay at Harris.
Harris.
Okay.
But to stay at Harris, so they get free rooms and they get a mountain of free play. And the trade for that is that you don't go to any other casinos.
Right. But I mean, we used to have people come. Oh, we used to have their assistants. Their
Come pick stuff up.
come pick stuff up.
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore.
Well, we used to.
No,
be
we
able
get
to
a
do that
couple
out
still.
there.
Do we?
Yeah, we don't get like the guys that used to come in and buy handfuls and boxes don't come through anymore.
Oh, okay.
Also, they get those guys stay at Harris on Harris dime. So Harris is probably just giving them cigars because they're all gamblers.
Hopefully, they're
But
giving it to them.
I mean, who's in charge of that? I mean, they can't be getting anything of significance.
Oh yeah, they can.
You think they are?
Those players put they
no,
put
no,
in
no,
so
no.
much.
I get the players are, but I'm talking about who's curating that. I mean, who's providing?
Oh, they're ordering whatever they want, even if they don't have it upstairs. They're ordering special for that event.
Okay. So they've got somebody that maybe or maybe not knows what they're.
Well, the girl that bartends up there knows her cigars.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure she knows what everyone smokes, and she's putting in the order 3 weeks ahead of time or something.
It's just not being maintained properly.
Yeah, on a regular basis, their cigars aren't sitting around long enough. Those boxes aren't even getting opened.
Right.
They're just getting delivered.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
And even if they are opened, they're opened
maybe a day.
the week they get there, and then they're not there for more than a week
Right.
for the celebrities. And then what's left gets sold off. Eventually it deteriorates, but no one cares because it's not the guys gambling, $1 million a weekend there.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars a day.
Yeah.
There's
They
probably
lose.
maybe one or two guys.
They
there.
usually the celebrities lose like between $3.5 and $4.5 million.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, how many celebrities are there? I mean, you've got what? 40?
Oh, they've probably got at least 20 that stay on property, maybe more.
Jordan probably still goes. For
He doesn't.
sure.
Jordan has shown up in 3 years, 4 years.
To the celebrity golf.
He doesn't come anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, didn't somebody berate him?
Barkley.
Him and Barkley got into a fight.
Yeah,
And then he
in the
bought
high limit room.
He bought a
Yes.
race team, like a race car team.
Like a NASCAR team?
I don't know if it's NASCAR. He might be involved in NASCAR now too, but he bought something else. So his time, he just stopped coming.
Yeah.
And he throws his own celebrity golf event now on the East Coast, in North Carolina somewhere.
Okay. Well,
I don't think you can smoke on Edgewood anymore, can you?
We're not supposed to. People still do, and really it's just a question of tipping the cart girl enough that she doesn't report you.
So as long as you tip the cart
But-
girl, we're good.
But Edgewood is supposed to be a no smoking property across the board.
Why did they switch to that?
GM.
really?
Yeah.
They went to
The new GM.
The new, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yes.
Like you're supposed to smoke
Enough,
on a golf
enough
course.
said. Enough said.
There are some golf courses and places there's no smoking because it's an extreme fire danger, which
Right.
I buy.
Okay, but Edgewood's not one of those. I
No.
mean, granted, it is in a high fire danger area, but the complex itself is so inundated with wet.
Well, where they're
with
at,
water.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and they also keep it well trimmed. I mean, they keep it.
Yes, and it's super well manicured.
Yeah.
There are people that drive that course. Like there are grounds guys that go through that course every day. It's not a paltry, like a poorly staffed golf course.
So
Right.
they close during winter, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they close October 15th, and they usually open around May 15th.
Okay, so they're already closed.
Their closing day is the same day every year.
Okay.
They will not risk damage to that course at the end of the season because they have to be in shape so quickly after they open for celebrity golf. They have to be on TV 6 weeks after they open.
TV ready. Got it.
What you mean? So they open in May?
They open the middle of May, usually about May 15th.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I thought they opened earlier, like April or so. But
Nope, May 15th.
They have to get it in shape.
Yeah, it's got to be in shape by the second week of July.
So-
Right, for that. But I'm just thinking to open, they've got to get it in shape just to open.
Yes.
I mean, that grass goes brown in the winter. It goes dormant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it comes back.
Yeah, I know it.
But this is the same reason, like when you have bad years when there's no snow, they'll bring water trucks out and water the course
Sure.
because they can't run the sprinklers.
And they can't pull it out
January.
of the lake either.
No. The only city that pulls water out of the lake is Incline Village, as far as I know.
Is that right?
How'd
Yeah.
they get away with that?
It's Incline Village.
No.
Well,
they just don't care. Got it.
I mean, aren't there? Well, I guess they're on wells on the west side.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I can't believe that some of those homes that have been there for as many decades as they've been there don't have water rights to pull out of there.
I don't think anyone got water rights in Tahoe.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Other than the
Well, cities have it. I don't think anyone has individual water rights in Tahoe.
no, I don't think cities have it. I think cities are on a well system.
Well, but they're not those kinds of wells. Like I'm pretty sure that they're more akin to aquifers, like
That-
small aquifers.
That's what I was going to get at. Aquifers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
So-
or natural springs.
Yeah.
So has celebrity golf fallen off a bit though? Like in
No,
the past couple of years?
Their attendance the last couple of years have been really high.
Okay. I was always wondering about that.
No, they came back from COVID pretty strong.
Oh,
I mean, it's a
good.
good event.
Yeah.
It
it's-
is. I just wasn't
it's-
sure if celebrities were moving about as much to those events.
No, it's just they changed a lot of the names, but that's because those names rotate through. The guys that play like those celebrity golf events generally, because there's a bunch of them, rotate pretty regularly.
Because I know I see Larry's name on there every year.
Yeah, he's there every year.
And did Rogers pull out?
He played last year.
Oh, did he?
He'll play again.
And what about Mulder?
He still plays.
Okay.
But he's not. I mean, most of the original guys are gone.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think
I think
that
Curry's
far
still
back.
there.
Oh, yeah, Curry's
Yeah, but he
still
wasn't an original guy
No,
by a
he
long
wasn't.
shot.
Yeah.
But his dad wasn't he?
His dad has been there, I think, every year.
Yeah.
there. Oh, is that right?
I'm pretty sure. Does Del Negro still play? If he does, he's been there every year. I think Elway's been there every year.
I think Elway still plays. I don't know.
Elway was here this year.
I don't know about
Marino stopped playing.
I don't know about Dell.
I don't know.
So who is some of you?
Tolliver stopped playing because he had to.
Is that because he hurt himself?
No.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm curious. Why did he have to?
Because he knocked out a bartender.
The bartender had it coming.
Oh, he did. No, 100% he did.
I can believe it. I mean,
No, I mean, like, I would have done the exact same thing. For, like, the whole story, like, if you know what he did, I would have done exactly the same thing.
I don't know the
I
story.
remember.
I'll tell you
something to
guys
that
off camera.
effect.
No, he 100% deserved it.
Oh wow.
I'm amazed that they didn't let him come back afterwards.
Instead of letting that guy go, they didn't let him play anymore.
No.
Well, they also let that guy go.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was okay.
Oh, yeah, no, he was immediately fired.
Both sides definitely got ejected for the
Yeah.
rest of their lives.
Yeah, but one side's a little bit more than the other side.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing celebrity golf, you're there for the celebrities, not the bartender.
Yeah, but I wonder what kind of lawsuit came out of that.
I don't know. I'd be surprised if any lawsuit came out of that.
Really?
Well, he'd probably try it, but at the same time, I mean, when you look at
Like
it,
I said,
it's
I'll
his
I'll
fault.
tell you guys what happened off camera.
Right. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd enjoy the story later.
The bartender probably didn't have enough money to go up against Tolliver anyway, so that's probably where they.
I mean, what would he go after for?
Well,
I
exactly.
mean,
Well, the bartender was judgment proof.
What do you mean he was judgment proof?
He had no, like, he probably had no money
Oh, right.
for a damage award.
Right.
Even if you win, it doesn't all like, and I've told people this before, not giving legal advice. Like, what is this worth to you? Because that person doesn't have any money. Mm-hmm. So you win, you get a judgment against him that you never collect on.
Right.
How much is your pride worth?
easy. You just go for the restraining order, permanent restraining order. That's the only thing I can think of.
So
if you were
that
to
would
do
definitely be a civil suit versus criminal, or would it be a combination?
it. Probably.
Well, no, because you got to remember, you don't have a right to you don't have a right to press charges criminally.
Oh, okay.
People don't have that right. The people have that right.
Right.
So the courts and all that.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're not.
This is why, like, when you watch TV and they're like, you know, I don't want to press charges. Well, it's not up to you. The only thing you get to decide is whether or not you're going to testify or not. But you don't get to decide whether or not charges are pressed.
Yeah, that's the DA's job, right?
Yeah.
So you basically just like, I'm not going to testify, but you could do the charges if you want.
Yeah,
I don't
you can
care.
try and get a conviction without me. Not likely in a lot of situations. But it
really?
always kills me when they're like, you know, so and so, I'm going to press charges. Well, you can file a civil complaint.
Well, doesn't the prosecuting attorneys for the state or whoever it is, the government, ask if the offended party wants to press charges or not?
No.
They
In real life?
in real life.
No.
Oh,
They find out, generally speaking, if charges are pressed if they're willing to testify against whoever.
okay.
That's their only role.
Because it's more substantial if you
They
testify.
might say something like, "Do you want to press charges?" because it's colloquially understood, but that's not what they mean.
Yeah, because I get it.
Because if they
I get
want to
it,
press
I get it.
charges, they're going to testify.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Anyway.
You guys have anything bright to talk about?
Oh my God! So I'm on the golf course. Nothing bright. I'm on the golf course today, right, with my dad.
Yes.
This is why I never play with real estate agents.
I
My
know.
dad is not a real estate agent. And this guy, I don't know what this guy did. Don't care. We're on the eighth green, walking off to the ninth hole,
Which course?
Eagle Valley.
Eagle Valley. Got it.
And this guy walks off. Now they're almost 2 holes behind at this point because the guy is up on the tee box waiting to tee off to finish a phone call that he's on. And he walks off the tee box and he looks at me and he goes, "Sorry, guys, that phone call had to happen." Now, this is my problem, right? Because he's lying, right? That phone call only had to happen in the general sense. If you think whatever business you have is more important than everyone else's business up here, because you're holding up the entire front nine at this point.
Right.
What he meant to say was, I needed that phone call to happen because my life would have been fucked if I didn't take it.
Yeah, I would have lost thousands or hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands of dollars.
that's what he really meant. But he expanded this to the greater need of society. And I was really tempted to point this out to him, but I didn't.
Oh,
I was
nice
good,
lane.
but internally I'm like, God, you're just a douchebag and you don't even know it.
So what would have happened if he kept going?
What do you mean?
Like,
Like if he kept talking?
If he went
If
and
I
said
had-
it needed to happen and he kept rambling on with it. Oops, my bad.
If I had been forced to respond, I would have responded as one would expect.
Okay.
It was just so annoying. Like it's just that,
God, I've been
But
that
the
guy.
rest of the rounds were
But
fine.
I've been that guy. Not on a golf course, but somewhere else. I know I've been that guy.
We all know.
but
you've
on a
been that
golf
guy.
course, if you do it, you're holding up a lot of people.
No, I get that.
Like you're interfering with a lot of people's day
Right.
for your thing. I've walked off rounds with real estate agents before because they're on the phone the whole time.
Sure.
Nick went to right next door. Yeah, you're fine. Nick took me out to play a round of golf at a nice golf course with another Nick who is a complete shitbag. And he spent the first 5 holes on the phone talking through people's swings, whatever. This is the guy that sent a piece of equipment that was basically compressed hydrogen as a grand piano to avoid the insurance. Literally, the thing could blow up to avoid the insurance. Dude is just a piece of trash, right? Makes a ton of money, just not a good person.
How do you get away with that?
Turns out he didn't because it broke and he tried to file insurance on it.
Oh, good.
And on the 5th tee box, I go into my backswing, and he's back here. Go into my backswing, and right about here, I hear him yammering in his big, boisterous voice, and my whole body turns. And I go, "Shut the fuck up, or I will shut you the fuck up." And he's got 100 pounds on me.
Wow.
And he turns white, and his eyes get real big, and he goes, "Oh shit, I'm gonna have to call you back." Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Needless to say, the rest of the round went fine.
I mean, he was very apologetic the rest of the round. I did not think I could scare someone that had 100 pounds on me.
But you did.
I mean, you're.
But I mean, it wasn't even like that wasn't the intent. Like it was
No.
all just reflex at that point.
like, how far back are we talking? Is this when you were in tip-top lane shape?
I was pretty big.
All right, then you're pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
even without being in shape, you're still pretty intimidating.
That 100 pounds that he had on you was not muscle.
No, but I mean, he was a collegiate swimmer. Like he was not out of shape. Now this is a long time ago, but he did real lifts. Like he was a big guy, and he probably went 340, 350. He had 2 or 3 inches on me.
Okay.
I mean, he was a big dude, and I just did not care. Like, I turned into that pit bull real fast. Like, mother, listen.
There's a couple of things
Don't
you don't
fuck up
mess
my
with
golf
when it
game.
comes to lane. Golf game and his whiskey.
Out of respect for the other Nick at the time, not sure I would have that now, but at the time I did, I held this in for 4 holes. And I mean, he was talking the whole time. And you could hear him from across the fairway.
Ooh.
Like, big voice.
So you're telling me everybody was pissed off?
Oh, yeah.
So that is the epitome of self-importance.
Yeah.
That is,
All right, going back to the golf round with your dad, did the
yeah.
rest of it go well?
It actually, funny story.
That's right. Wait a minute.
so,
Let's get back to the
10th
original
hole.
story.
10th hole. Now, I was in the wrong here. So I was 292 out into the wind. right? Pull out my 3-wood. I'm thinking, easy 3-wood. I'm going to hit it like I'm intentionally trying to lay up. 250, leave myself, 60 yards, 50, 60 yards, little wedge with some wind as a backstop. Perfectly good shot into a par 5, right? And I felt the club release as I came through. And I hit, if I was 292 out, I hit every bit of 290. I mean, I rolled up to the edge of the green. I actually rolled past one of the dudes chipping. And oh, shit. I'm going to have to apologize for that in a minute. I'm going to feel like a jackass. But I did. I walked up there and I took my medicine.
Good for you.
Like, guys, sorry. I'm really sorry. Did not think from that distance I could get here. And they went, how far out were you? And I went, 292. And they went, oh, shit. That's a big ball. I'm like, yeah, still shouldn't have hit it. I get that. Should have waited. Or I should have hit a lesser club. And I didn't. That's on me.
And they were pretty.
I mean,
they were good with your apology.
Yeah, they seem to be.
you hit it with a 3-wood, though,
3-wood,
right?
yeah.
Like, how far is it supposed to go with the 3-wood?
I mean, I can get my 3-wood to 300, but not into a 15 to 20 mile headwind.
So it just, that wind must have just cut.
No,
right then and
it was
there.
the perfect ball. It never got above 35 feet in the air. Like, it was just this driving, piercing shot. It came off the club just right.
Looked amazing.
And my club just snapped through in a way that I didn't intend. Like, I was intentionally trying to hit it like 250. And it had no part of that. It's like, nope, we're going all the way.
What club could you have used instead?
Oh, I should have hit like a hybrid up there or something. Like a 5-iron maybe.
A 5-iron.
Yeah, I mean, I could have just as easily been like, oh, I'll play a pitching wedge from 150 yards or something. But I didn't. Should have.
Well,
I've seen
they took it well.
I've seen you at the range, and I mean, you can fucking punch a ball, right?
Now,
And-
you seen
and-
those satellites come back down?
So the funny thing is about Lane is that I'll go, yeah, man, you definitely got out there almost 400. I can almost certainly say you definitely went over 325, 350. And he goes, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. And I go, okay, but I think you did. I really do. And and you play it down so well. I mean, you can tank a ball. I mean, you can just smack that puppy to where it rolls definitely past 400.
I hadn't hit a 400-yard ball in a long time. And I hit one last season.
Did you?
In fact, I hit one this season too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Last season I hit it at Somerset. And I went deep. It was like a 485-yard short par 5, and I was a knockdown lob wedge out. And then this season with Jason, I played Edgewood. And I hit it so far on a par 4, on a legitimate par 4, that I short-sided myself on the greenside bunker.
Short-sighted yourself.
So, like, I didn't have a full swing anymore. I had to hit over a bunker to a tucked pin with the bunker.
Oh.
Like, I had to hit a flop shot.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I think I still birdied the hole.
I think I still birdied the hole.
Of course you did.
Me and Edgewood get along really well.
Well, yeah,
Well, you
you've
know
played
the
it
course.
enough.
Yeah, and it plays to my game really well.
Yeah.
I mean, I
That's
don't even
really
think that it's
that's
played.
really the situation.
I don't even think it plays to your game really well. I think you've just played there so much that it's muscle memory at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so I've hit both of the last 2 seasons. I've hit 400-yard balls.
Nice.
Like,
See,
oh.
I told you. You
Well,
know.
most of the time my tee shots are like 320 to 330,
Okay.
generally speaking.
But when you're at the range, you're not holding up. You're just smacking that puppy to see what.
Oh yeah, because you're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll, if we're down there at Genoa,
That's where
he
it
does
was.
he really doesn't hit his drivers out there often.
No, I don't.
Because if he hits his drivers, he hits his house on the other side of the driving range.
I don't think I've ever hit the house.
No, you've got.
But you
close,
put it in
though.
their yard.
I've definitely had the dude who owned the house who was in his backyard gardening, screaming at me.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's happened.
See, and that's the thing that I know you don't usually use your drivers because of that.
Yeah, no, I usually stop at my 3-wood.
One of the stories that you've told about being out at Hagen Oaks, and that the pros or the
Oh, it was the Golf Expo.
the golf
It was
expo.
the Nike Tour van guy who was on the other side.
side of the range.
Oh my God.
Let's hear it.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
so I was.
It's
I think I've
great.
told it. I was at Hagen Oaks. I think I've told it on this. So Hagen Oaks is a massive driving range,
Oh, the
and there are
fishing-
slots on the other side.
Kid in the fish. Was that the fishing one?
No, different golf course.
Got it.
So the Golf Expo is this like a bunch of tour vans show up. All the brands show up, even without the tour vans. You can hit any iron or any driver with any shaft. Like they've got everything. So you can just walk over and they tune it up for you, and then you go try it. The idea is it's right before the season starts. It's to get to buy the new gear, right?
So you can see how
So-
they hit, how you hit with them, how
Yeah.
they feel.
I was wearing an obnoxiously green shirt, which
I
didn't
know.
seem relevant to me at the time. It was just a golf polo.
I feel like I've seen that one.
The Nike Tour van was on the other side of the range and parked back about 30 yards. They were doing their setups for people, and that was like the tour van setups you have to make an appointment for. So they were having these guys by appointment who were paying for these fitting sessions. And
Shoes, right?
what's that?
Shoes?
No, at the time they were doing golf stuff.
Okay.
This is a while back. This has got to be like 12, 14 years ago. And I was hitting, I think I was hitting the new Titleist driver. Playing with some super cool shafts, like these $1,000, $1,200 shafts just for the shaft, right? Hand laid graphite, whatever. So I'm just crushing these balls, just hammering them. And I didn't think much of it because it kind of has a little drop. So you can't really see where they're landing because they're landing out of sight where I
Right.
was at. Like part of the course has a drop and then a rise, whatever. Wasn't paying much attention. I was hitting it pretty well. Go through a couple shafts, and I'm in the middle of swinging, and this guy walks up behind me and goes, "Hey, I need to talk to you." I turn around, like, "Yeah, man, what's up?" He goes, "I need you to stop hitting drivers." I was like, "Okay, someone want to try this?" I didn't even register what it was. I'm like, "Does someone want to try this? Like, do I need to bring it back?" He's like, No. I have no idea. I don't care about that." He goes, "I'm working at the Nike Tour van on the other side." I go, "Okay." He goes, "You're rolling the balls under my fucking van. Like, through my fitting session, under the van." He goes, "You need to stop hitting drivers right now."
Were they drivers that you were hitting?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
they were
Okay,
drivers.
I
That's a
was saying.
big ball.
I'm like, are you hitting
funny.
like your hybrid? Because I know your hybrids can go almost as far as your drivers usually.
Same golf course. I was out there because they do night. Like it's lighted, so you can
Oh,
go out
it's
there at
lit.
night. It's open till like on weekends in the summer. It used to be open till like 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
So you go out there, and there were like 3 long drive, 1 girl and 2 guys. One guy, a senior guy, a younger guy who was competing long drive, and then one of the female long drivers who would practice out there. So I go out there one night with some buddies, and we're hitting balls. And I'm just practicing like regular golf practice. And this crowd collects over the other side. My buddies, I mean, you've got beers. Like they have a little taco truck, and they sell beers and shit. So we're all drinking beers, whatever. And they want to go over there. I'm like, all right, whatever. We all walk over there. And it was the girl practicing with her coach. And I mean, she was hitting the ball pretty far. No, she was hitting the ball she was hitting it well. And one of the guys pipes up. He's like, "My buddy can do that." I'm like, "No, don't.
And you're the buddy.
Yeah, I'm the buddy for sure.
We know he's the buddy.
I'm like, "I don't want any part of this right now. Like, I just want to go practice my wedges." And the coach looks at him and he goes, "You think so, huh?" And he goes, "Yep." And he fucking,
Points you.
and the coach looks over at me and he goes, "Let's find out." I'm like, "I really don't have to. Like, you guys are doing work. Like, this doesn't have to be a thing." He's like, "No, come on up." All right. And I don't know, she had like 7 drivers, right? And he hands me one of them. Now she's stopped.
Yep.
She's like, if you think you've got it, let's see it. I'm like, this is not what I wanted to do tonight. Because it's not really my thing.
Right. No, it isn't.
And
Then again, it is.
so I walk up, couple practice swings, like get a feel for the balance of the driver.
Get warmed up.
And then I just torque the shit out of one. I mean, I parked this ball. And I hear the coach goes, "Oh, you've got a swing." And I turn around, I go, "Yeah, I can play this game a little bit." And he goes, "Give me that back." And he grabs another club. He goes, "Hit this one." So I hit like 10 or 12 more. And then I talked to the girl for a little bit, talked to the coach for a little bit,
Got a
just
number.
back and forth. No, I didn't. She's actually married. She was married to the other long drive guy. They're really cool, though. And she didn't take too much offense to it because I'm pretty sure I was getting past her by a ways.
Oh,
She was really nice about it, though.
that's good.
And then I went back to hitting wedges, fucking smacked my buddy in the back of the head. Like, what are you doing? Like, they're really, like, she's working on something.
Yeah.
Like, this is an actual practice session for her.
Got it.
Like,
Got it. And this guy goes, "Hey, my buddy can do this. Hey, check this out."
Let's just demotivate her a little bit.
No, she probably really respected it.
Yeah.
Because if she's a professional like, you're supposed to be, or I would suspect you're supposed to be, and you're working on your game, and somebody can come up and goes and pops it, you got to have respect for that, right?
yeah, I mean, she was nice afterwards. Like I said, we talked for a little bit. Then, people did whatever. And then she went back to practicing, and everyone went back to watching her. And I went back and, worked on my golf game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went and hit wedges. Not to be confused with doing wedgies.
Oh, all right. We've been going at this for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, 111.
111?
Yeah.
You guys want to get out of here?
It's
Oh, sounds like Will's got some more.
Let's say I have one thing, but
All right.
Will can go.
I don't know how much more I got, but
Okay.
I'm really disappointed in the start of this ski season. It's warm.
Did-
There's not much on the mountain.
Is it open already?
It is
It opened
opened.
Tuesday,
Yep. But
yesterday.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I got
yesterday.
my pass, so I'm excited. But now that you're telling me that, you're going to ruin it for me. What are we doing?
I was going to go up tomorrow for 3 or 4 laps before Thanksgiving.
I
Where?
got work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what my news was. I went through some training, and now I could do more stuff.
Okay.
So hopefully
Nice.
my pay goes up a little bit more. But
Nice.
last week being what it was, and us not having a podcast that week, sorry guys, things came up. It gave me some time to take that class, and I worked roughly 2 weeks straight almost.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was a little burnt out yesterday. I'm like, oh.
I know that feeling.
Then I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh. But I'm feeling better now.
Good.
I think I slept 15 hours this morning.
Oh, nice.
Like, that's how burnt out I was. I wasn't moving for a thing. I was dead.
Yeah. For anyone that has noticed, we're definitely missing the snarky voice of the group.
Yes, we are.
He'll be back in a couple weeks.
On
He's
sabbatical.
not gone, just taking a little leave,
Just recovering a little bit.
right?
Yep. Taking good care of himself.
He spent a lot of time in the shop. He could probably use it.
Yes, definitely. I mean,
Well, yeah, over
how many years?
3 years, only one vacation, really.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and before that,
Even then, yeah, he was working.
I mean,
was-
COVID was kind of a vacation for him, but before that, it was like 11 years in
And
here.
2 jobs.
Yeah.
And not just one job, but 2 jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He got smoked.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
If you're watching this, Casey, we love you. Feel better soon.
Yes, please.
All right. You
All
guys
right.
good?
We're
I'm
good.
All right.
All right, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
I'm Kevin.
I'm
That's
Will.
Lane. That's Will. This has been another Daily Torch. If you guys like the videos, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what we can do better. And we'll see you on the next one.